Hey guys, welcome to the HKC217 podcast, episode 8, sponsored by Gas-Tight Industries. They're my main Patreon sponsors. They're going to be on my leathers, my helmet and my gloves. So thanks to all the support that they're giving me and the team that work there. This episode's going to sum up the Pakosta37 Riders Factory, and it's going to sum up about that. And this podcast is available on Spotify, iTunes and all other podcast services, and also it's available on YouTube. So make sure you give us a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in a minute. Bye.
Yeah, massive thanks to Richard over at GTI. You'll see the logo on Hudson's, as it says, his race levers and whatever not.
Yeah.
Gas-Tight Industries are providing plumbing, heating and gas services to the commercial, industrial, laundry, LPG, commercial/mobile and catering industries. Wow, that sounds like a proper advert.
Yeah.
Well, it is a proper advert.
Yeah.
Again, massive thanks to Gas-Tight Industries. You'll see the logo there. Head over to the Facebook page. If you just search for Gas-Tight Industries Limited, you'll be able to see his page over there. So massive thank you to Richard and the team. Right. Now that's out of the way, we shall head into... I need to stop turning, don't I?
Yeah.
Episode 8, which is covering...
Our first 3 days in Spain and what we did.
Yeah, so we had 3 days out in Spain. Well, Hudson did, and we did. Over at Cartagena, which was, I don't know, what was it like?
Good training, a lot of experience on the bike and a lot of things to learn. At the track, there was a big track for the bigger bikes, and then there was a smaller track and some training circles and an even smaller track.
Oh, micro track.
Yeah, like micro.
So yeah, so we're going to be covering like what we kind of did what Hudson kind of did. I was just a slave. So yeah, amazing experience really. So yeah, we first got over to Spain. We landed in Alicante Airport.
Yeah.
Got us a hire car.
And then
Headed over to Finstra.
Mm.
We met up with El Loco, Luca Wilkinson. They actually flew out there with us. Massive thanks to Steve, who helped us out massively on sorting everything out. Meeting to arrange to load the bikes. Oh my gosh, that was good. So Steve,
like digging a tunnel.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, Steve helped us out quite a lot there because we'd have struggled to get the bikes on to the lorry heading over to Spain. So yeah, so we got over to Spain. Checked in his airport, got his hire car, went to Finstra, where his hotel were first, and then we headed back to Alicante at 6 a.m. to meet the lorries that were already there, and we had to unload the bikes first. I think we got there, if I can remember right, I think it was 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
We had to do rider login, rider briefing, meet up with Kirk. We met up with, who else was out there? So Lewis Mullin, they was there. Thorley Trevorrow, he was there as well.
Yeah.
So I think off of the lorry we had to get well, firstly our bikes were right at the back.
Yeah.
So that was a pain. So we had to burrow a tunnel.
Yeah, we had to dig through in a sea of bikes, bags and stands and stuff, and we had to bury through and get his bikes back out from very back at lorry.
Well, Adrian's and Lewis's was right at the very
up against the wall,
very back of the trailer, but all good. Actually, we attacked it pretty well. Everybody worked together. there was, like I say, I think there was 6 bikes and 4 mini motos coming off for the Cartagena training. Yeah, it was. So it bashed on that. It was quite warm in the morning. I can't remember now.
Yeah.
We had his own garage.
Yeah, we had his own like pit garage.
Pit garage, which was actually on the main track.
Pit
lane.
And you could open the shutter, and
you were straight on the pit lane, which was
cool.
which were amazing. You looked all the way through, like it was like wire Harris fence meshing, and you could
it separated the garages,
but
and then you could look through, and there were like so many garages.
I think they were like, I don't know what number we was, 17 now, 20 odd.
Yeah,
but you could look all the way through the garages as far as the eye could see, and you could see in everybody's garage all the way down, which were, I've got an actual photo of that, so I'll put that up. It looks pretty epic. So we set up all in there, 6 bikes. The other mini moto guys, they set up in another, I think they were meeting somebody else who were out there, so they set up a little bit further up, about 4 garages up.
Yeah.
They set up their mini motos. In our garage, we had Hudson, Luca, Lewis, Thorley, and Isaiah.
Isaiah.
I think I've got that name right.
Yeah, it is.
Who was on a Metrikit. First time we met that guy, I've actually seen him, but I've seen his dad and I've seen him before. I think they've been to a B&B round before, so we have crossed paths. I wouldn't say we've talked. Lovely lad.
Yeah.
Wicked lad, actually. Wicked guy as well. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Set up, did all his rider sign on, and as scheduled, it run perfectly on time. At 10 o'clock, Paco turned up, and we smashed straight onto the track. He did not mess about.
There were no brakes or anything, just like...
So basically, straight up, basically, as soon as he got up onto the track, I think he wanted to have a little look at everybody. So he set up some drills. I think he just, first off, We'll
just span some laps up.
Some laps.
Was it Pekka on the first day? Or was it that other guy?
No, that was the main guy who runs a training camp, yeah, on the first day.
Yeah. When he took me aside to do the training circles.
Yeah. So, yeah, he was, obviously, I think there was 3 guys, I think, in total. 2 that we seen mainly when we were out there. But yeah, it took him straight up there, smashing laps out, 10 o'clock, no brakes. No brakes. You had to designate your own brakes, which I thought were amazing.
Good, because sometimes you go to a track day and they put a brake in.
There was no sessions. Long. It was not 15 minutes on track, 15 minutes off track by any means.
It was like
10 o'clock while 2 o'clock non-stop.
Like, I'm sure. How many hours do you think we did?
On that first day, you did 4 hours. You did 10 o'clock while 2 o'clock, which was siesta time. And the only time that you come off track was to have a little drink in between.
And the drink break was like a minute long.
1 minute, and you were already sorting out the next thing to do. So on the first day, you did... It were interesting as well, because over the 3 days, for me, you could see the progress on how much they struggled on some of the technical exercises, which was, I'll call them the roundabouts.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're called roundabouts.
Circle apexes.
Just circle apexes. Interesting little thing that we noticed when we come back, that from the drone shot,
you could see they got smaller and then progressively bigger.
So I stood on all these circles. I stood in the middle of every single one, and I never noticed that there was bigger, and actually quite a lot bigger. I just never noticed. So I stood on these circles, and you'll see, I'll put the drone shot up now. You can see they're actually like larger in between, so there's like a small, medium, and large.
And then there's a painted section for the so you can experience. It simulates wet conditions, and it's like red paint, and there's a full circle that's covered in red paint, then there's half a circle that's covered in red paint, and then there's like a quarter
So yeah, and I will admit, as we went out there, in my opinion, I think the only person that really got on with
Quickly.
them on the first day were Lewis.
Yeah.
They were super tight. Like for Hudson, it looked like on the first day. I don't even know if I might put a video up now. Hudson like he had stabilisers on. I don't think you could realise that you could turn that bike.
No.
You weren't enjoying it, but you persisted on it. He worked with you massively to help you out on that. Encouraged you, showed you it was possible. I think like for the first time you went on it, you didn't even get your knee down.
No, I didn't. I don't think first day I did.
Not round them circles. No, it were difficult.
Not round
that
circles.
Bit. And then another interesting thing as well. So he did that. He took you to the circles. I think everybody went on that mini track. So another little photo that I'll put up, or you'll see. I don't know if I've got a photo or any drone shots of that. There's a track, and it must be. It might be 4 foot wide.
Not even 4 foot.
So all them on the first day, they're like, no way, you can't drive around that. No way, no way.
And you just like have to like drag it round.
Yeah.
Like get like proper body position, just like
so
drag it round.
Yeah, on the first day, everybody went round that mini track.
I think nearly everyone fell off.
Everybody fell off. They either went wide, went into the tyres, crashed into other oncoming riders coming other way.
Yeah.
Stopped other riders, made other riders fall off because they were going around it too slow. It was difficult. It looked like, for me, when you looked at it, it looked like a kid's track at a theme park that was like 4 foot, 5 foot wide, that you'd expect a little electric vehicle going round. Absolutely nuts. Apexes and everything on there, a painted section as well.
Paint blue section.
And again,
proper slippy.
I think there was only Lewis who kind of got on well with it. Everybody else, Thorley, everybody fell off that day. And again, it was interesting to see everybody going on that, and then to see how you were at the end of the 3 days.
At the end of the 3 days, when we were dragging, like you could go at the start of when we did that small track, you couldn't go round a lap without putting your foot on the floor.
Foot on the floor, falling off, crashing into tyres,
or like
making somebody else fall off, going wide.
And he said, if you can stop on that track, use all the track, and just go onto apexes.
They were mental.
Just cut.
Looked very difficult. Looked very difficult. And
then,
again, they all said it were impossible.
And then at the end, and then you look at the end of the weekend, and we can go round there.
Well,
without putting your feet down and dragging it right back.
I'll put on some clips of that, obviously, on the so we're on about the first day. So yeah, I think it was engaging where you were, maybe to show you where you're going to progress as well. I don't know if that were part of his plan, to show you how you were on your first day, and then you go back to that you work on all that stuff over the 3 days, and then you think, well, I couldn't do that on day 1, and now I can do that on day 3. I don't know, but it definitely for you, as we'll show in the videos, it improved body positioning. It changed a lot of things in your style of riding there, where you were like, oh right, you could do that. It was low speed. If you did fall off, which you had a few falls, you had a few falls on circle. You had a few. I don't think you had any falls on main track, did you? No. The main track was quite tight.
It was like.
I would say it was. I guess if you were to equivalent it somewhere, what would you say? Like it's probably as wide as Fat Cat's. Maybe a car and a half wide. It's not that wide, was it? Yeah, it was. It was tight. It went back on itself.
It went back on itself.
Tight corners, probably 6 or 7 different types of corners.
You could drive it backwards.
You did it in reverse. There were another painted section out there. Going back to the painted section.
Yeah, they were like the main track of it, and then there were like a middle track that connected to the big track. So it were painted.
So the painted thing Hudson touched on a little bit is that it was literally a painted section, which is obviously a change of grip. Out in Spain, allegedly they don't have a lot of rain.
When we went, they did.
There was a bit of rain when we went, but yeah, on these painted sections, it replicates loss of grip basically. So on them sections, as you ride in from tarmac onto that, I presume it's to simulate wet conditions a little bit. You said to me you could definitely feel it where on the main track when you went from the
feel
main
it,
tarmac to the blue.
Mm.
So there was one, I don't think it was a tight corner, it was just a long sweeping corner, but it was all blue painted. Everybody were really tentative around there because of the grip that had lost. So again, obviously in Spain they do it. It was a massive eye opener to all us what we've seen out there. But yeah, that first day, I think it went really well. It was a shock, even to Hudson, who's considerably fit and got good stamina. He did not stop. I'm not even exaggerating here. From 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock. So we know why they have siesta. So from 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock, it was non-stop. Non-stop. Then they had a 2-hour break where you're thinking, oh man, that's a lot of time off that. But you kind of needed that.
Yeah.
You needed that. They did amazing food there.
Yeah, they had.
What did you have? Spaghetti bolognese 3 days in a row. From like a little.
It was like a food hut.
Food hut and a gazebo. She's come and took orders for everybody, asking what time you were having a break for, what pit paddock were you in, what pit garage was you in. So she come and ask that. You could book it in. They come and bring it. It was amazing actually. Really good. I didn't think it was going to be very good at the track. Expecting just chips and chicken nuggets, but yeah, he had spaghetti bolognese and Luca as well.
Yeah,
I think they had spaghetti every day, which were amazing.
I'm sure it were like homemade.
So yeah, so they had the siesta break. Sorry, we're battering about there. So they had the siesta break, 2 while 4, and then 4 while I think probably 6:30, probably 6 o'clock actually. Yeah. So you had another 2 hours after siesta time, and then Kirk come along, and I think this obviously were arranged by Paco that we didn't know this was going to happen. They said, right, you can go onto big track. I'm like, whoa. All right.
Like what?
So we didn't know that was going to happen. So we rushed down to the garage. Obviously, we knew that we were doing this training, so we'd all had short gearing on. Not that we messed about with the gear. Well, we didn't mess about with the gearing. I think me and Steve, I forgot what you had on there, but we just put shortish gearing on.
Yeah.
We knew it weren't a massive track, and we knew it were going to be drills. And then obviously they said, right, okay, you're going on a big track.
So we rushed back.
So we had to rush back to the garage, and we had no warning whatsoever. We had to change the gearing as quick as possible and put on the longest gearing that we had. And actually, I had to borrow. Did I borrow Adrian's or Lewis's? They were Lewis's.
I wasn't putting it on, to be
honest.
I was too busy worrying that we weren't going to get on
track.
track.
We had to like panic, put it on. Everybody was changing all the gearing, putting it on as long as possible because it wasn't the full Cartagena track.
It was like half of it, but it was like the long, massive, long sweeping corners.
Long sweeping corners. Probably, I don't know if it was the biggest track they've ever been on. Would have been interesting to look at.
It's bigger than Pembrey.
You think it was bigger than Pembrey?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to have a look at what your lap time was on there, or the distance. It'll say the distance on your Alfano if it was longer. At
Pembrey, it's like 1 point something of a mile.
Yeah, it must have been longer than that. I've not even looked at the lap times.
It went all the way down, like underneath.
Yeah, it were a long lap for dads to be waiting on the side to see if your son had come back round again. Yeah. So yeah, but they thought it was an amazing experience. So on the reverse of that, we shut the back garage, opened the front garage, and rode straight out onto pit lane and straight onto the track. Which for me, well, I was only watching, but it was pretty epic watching that. I managed to go in the middle of the track. It was that much of a panic. Not one single person put on a GoPro. Me, Steve, nobody, not even thought. No, but nobody did that. I had my drone there. I was just too busy trying to watch him on the track, so I didn't even get the drone out. I recorded a little bit of footage from my lit track. Steve were up on the top, and it was amazing, weren't it? Really, he had a good few laps. Hudson was the only one on a 110. I think Lewis Lewis and Thorle and Luca were on the 160s.
But I were tagging on with them.
And you were like tagged along with them, really, yeah. In fact, you had a big... I think you caught up with Thorle.
I caught up with Thorle, and me and Thorle had a battle, and then...
I think Thorle realised...
Thorle realised how fast you could go around the track.
Yeah, because...
I were beating him at the start of the session on a 110, he was like... Huh.
Yeah, I think he it opened his eyes a little bit, and then Hudson... And then Thorle went past. You were just probably about... I'd say maybe 6 seconds behind him at the end, and then Thorle caught up with Luca, Lewis... Or did they come round? Yeah, they come round, didn't they?
Yeah. Luca and Lewis came round. And
Thorle right, I should be with them.
I should be with them.
Yeah, so Hudson got left a little bit behind there, but you did really well.
To say you
were on a 110. Amazing. Absolutely mind-blowing. So we rolled in there, and that was end of day one, which were pretty cool. Yeah, and then we went back to a hotel that we booked in Cartagena, with Steve. And look, would have it that Thorle's dad were in the same hotel. With Gideon and Thorle, they were in the same hotel. And Isaiah, they were in the same hotel. Although, yeah, they were in the same hotel. We just didn't. They come in a different way in the morning.
Oh.
Unless, I don't know if they're in the same hotel.
I don't think
we met him at breakfast, though.
Yeah, we did meet him at breakfast.
Anyway, so yeah, they were all there. So we had a drink after. Had a little chat. Obviously, we got up at 6 in the morning. They were wiped out. In fact, me and Steve went downstairs. Luca and Hudson stayed up in the room. You chilled. And we come up about half an hour later, didn't we? We were wiped out too. So that was the end of an exciting day one, and obviously day two we headed straight back to the track. Weather did not look good; it was raining on the way to the track. The trainer come up in the morning saying, "What do you want to do?" The schedule said it was going to rain all day, so we were kind of like, "Oh man, shall we go? Shall we not go?" But we stuck it out. Round about 10:30, 11 o'clock-ish, it stopped,
and then
the wind was blowing like crazy.
You thought it might dry up at this point, so then
I rounded up the troops. It was me. I rounded up the troops. I were confident that it was mega. I don't think nobody realised though, when you went up to that top bit, it was warm still, and the wind was blowing so much that it were going to dry. So we had a little look. Obviously, the rain stopped. Got a couple of sweeping brushes. I was like, let's get it sweeps off. Sent you out, you and Lewis and Thorle.
Me and Isaiah went in every single garage, walked in and asked if they had a sweeping brush. In fact, you got a squeegee, didn't you? And I found a squeegee, and it just like soaked it all up.
Oh, it were amazing.
It were amazing.
So all the kids and everybody then, we all chipped in, sweeped off what we could. You could see that it was drying then. So by about 12 o'clock, it might have been before then. I don't know what time. I'll have to look at the photos. But it dried up. In fact, we was lucky because we had ours. So me and Steve were confident that we'd be able to go on the track up there. So like that's kind of mine and Steve's motivation, pretty much, to do it anyway. But it did dry up.
It did dry up.
And you guys went on a little bit earlier before it fully dried.
We were like guinea pigs, and then. But
him and Luca went on, and we didn't have no trainer there, but
we just copied what we did the day before.
So yeah, we went up there. We talked to him. He was like, "Do you want me to come back and whatever not?" And it were meant to be raining back in the afternoon, which it did. But we went up there. I think he had like another 3 hours or 2.5 hours on track. Basically replicating all drills that we'd done on the first day, which it wasn't rocket science when you're seeing what they did. And actually, Hudson, Luca, probably Thorle, definitely Hudson and Luca, you benefited massively from not having the pressure of the trainer there. I'm not saying that he was
pressuring.
I'm not saying he was pressuring, but we could stand out on these circles, and actually Hudson and Luca and Isaiah you got extended goes on that because you basically did laps and laps around it as long as you wanted to do it, where other ones were going on big track. We just had the all training area to ourselves.
Yeah, we just had the full like facility.
Yeah, so that was a massive for you, massive benefit because you smashed it round on them circles.
And I mastered
drilled
them
it,
circles.
drilled it, and I think that as much as I think you needed that day like that, I'm not saying it was me. Steve were helping as well. We did some hot laps with Steve, which we'll show you some videos there that were good. Where were you versus Luca, which is replicating what Paco did on the first day. Again, one stop, replicating starts, replicating stalls on the grid. That's what Steve put in, which were really good. Luca nearly wiped me out with camera as I stood in the middle of the track where there were. I'll put that video up as well. So I'm stood in the middle of the track.
Luca's aiming for my dad.
Hudson, Luca's there. Luca comes to overtake Isaiah, and I have to swerve out of the way. I'm not kidding. I had to do a roll. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah. Needed that. Positive day. Considered that it was meant to be raining non-stop. We didn't have to pay for that day, I don't believe, as well. So, but it was like we had all the training grounds to ourselves.
Yeah.
And it weren't a day wasted. 2 or 3 hours on track, smashing the drills that we'd seen. And I think we were impressed when we met up again on day 3. That how much they changed again, because the days, the improvement were. Some of the videos are the slow-mos on when they're going past and you can see the body position, which you'll have seen these on the other videos, the Hudson's one. Like, there's Hudson, Isaiah, Luca and Lewis slow-moing past. That is on that second day. Some of them videos, where we were allowed
where we're just spinning up laps on the circles.
And they're messing around, trying to get their elbow down. Amazing. And it was a massive positive that second day.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We moved on to third day, more drills, more lap times. He did one-shot laps. He did a few drills, which was he did a slalom race on the circles, which were good. So there were basically, I think there were 9 circles. There was basically one team versus another team.
Yeah.
You had to do I think you had to do a
360 round each circle.
Yeah, round each one, like, circle and round. Really innovative. Like, as much as you think they're only circles, like, he had so many different things that you could do. Like, and we did this on the second day as well.
They were like,
he'd lift the tires and say, right, it was only a mesh of 8, 9 circles, but you could like weave in, weave out, like make a cross shape. It's hard to explain it really, but you could make like a plus shape by weaving in and out of the centre dots on each one. If you think of it like a dice, that's the best way that I can explain it. Yeah, is that the best way to explain it? So he circled in. So we did all them drills, he did all them drills again, and then he introduced some new ones on the third day, which was opposite and completing 360s on there, where again, it was definitely impressed on how much you could put your knee down. You could we were doing a game where we were on the second day where you were hitting the apex on these circles and doing a full complete circle like a game, like and like ticking it off, by having your knee down on the full apex of the full circle.
And like getting your knee down like on the
all the way around the
all
full
way
360
around on the apex of
the
it.
360. Yeah, and they were tight. It was really tight. So yeah, that were really good. The games were good. He did another game, which whatever I've called it, the long lap leader drill.
The long lap.
That's a good explanation.
Yeah.
So basically,
there
was
like a figure of 8.
It wasn't round the circles. It was on the track.
On the track, yeah, and it was like a bit in the middle of the track. It was like a figure of 8, and if you imagine on like
whoever was leading,
they had to take a long lap round an extra tyre. So all the normal, like in second place and fourth place and so ever, went round the normal bit, but the leader had to go round there
and like rejoin, like at the back
and,
or in between.
Like, it depends how fast you took the corner.
It were mayhem at first,
and then it started raining halfway through. So
you kind of just got it right. Yeah,
we got it right. And then if you can imagine like 4 people doing like this crazy thing in the rain. Slipping out and drifting, getting their elbow down. Just
for about 7, probably 10 minutes. So you had a good go at it for a little bit, and we've seen it before. And you kind of everybody just started to get to the gist of it.
And then it started spinning.
I've not even got no footage of it because we were just watching it.
It was
mental.
Scary.
It were. I wouldn't say it was scary to watch. You were a bit hesitant to join in, like obviously. There were like Lewis and whatever not. And it was a little tight track, but you did have a go at it. But yeah, I think Thorley fell off, Isaiah fell off, Luca fell off. You were the only one who didn't fall off.
I didn't fall off.
But it was a good drill, good
like following the lines.
Good following drill. They were so close. You might have seen some videos on.
Like the tyres were like that between each other. And
you'll have seen some videos. If you look online, you'll have seen some other people doing this exact drill. It was mayhem. And I need somebody to actually send me the videos of that because I've not even got no videos. I don't know if Gideon recorded it. Steve's not got any because he sent me all this footage. Maybe Isaiah's dad's got it.
Don't know.
Send it me if you've got it because I'll put it on this video now. But yeah, and that kinda were a wrap because it rained. We didn't know if it were going to stop raining. It was siesta time then, so it was 2 or 4. And we made a call. We looked at the weather. They said there was no chance of going back on the big track.
Yeah. At that point, when Pecco actually called stop because the rain was getting too bad and too many.
We just knew it were done then. It weren't particularly hot that day, I don't think, on that third day.
Thorley came off like a lap before. Well, he didn't fall off. He came into pits and he was like, it's too slippy. And then the lap after, Pecco said, no, it's raining
That's
too
it,
much.
We're done. So that concluded that, but what an amazing experience. Really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, it were a shame. I wouldn't say it were a shame it ended like that. It were just... It is what it is. We didn't have the bestest of weather out there, but I definitely think we took advantage of what we did have, or what you did have. I mean, like to go on the main track and to train like that. I think that stood you in massive. Like it changed your. Like I said, you can see on these videos, the riding styles change. We've been joking since when we've got back, like saying. It's like Hudson, like Mark 5 now. Well, me and Steve have been saying it's a new version of Hudson's riding. So yeah, really good. Good experience. Excited.
Yeah. Good experience on a big track.
Lots of track time.
Lots of track time.
So yeah, that pretty much concludes it there. So then we loaded back up the lorry.
Yeah.
Packed it all back in. Had to get all metro kits back in. Can you remember all that?
Yeah.
And we didn't think we were going to be able to. We loaded the bikes a little bit different from when we unloaded it because it was going to be a massive pain to get all the bikes to the back again. So we moved all the boxes to the back. We had faith on what we were doing. Adrian loaded it back up, closed the doors, and off we travelled on his next part of his little adventure, which will conclude. Well, we'll put on next week's episode.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was Cartagena.
Yeah, the first
with Lewis Mullen, Hudson Cooper, Luca Wilkinson
and
Isaiah. Divine.
Wow.
I pulled that one from nowhere. Isaiah Divine and Thorley Trevero. Raul. So yeah, that concluded that. So yeah, that were a pretty amazing experience. So that's that.
Yeah. Pretty much concludes it all. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we've touched everything there. We've not missed anything, have we? So yeah, we'll move on from there. So that's the end of that bit. So we'll move on here to actually talking about the MotoGP Fantasy League. Wow. So that were a little idea that I had while we're in Spain. I don't know if I did it just before I went out to Spain.
Yeah.
Put it out on Twitter, put it out on Facebook, put it out on Instagram. Maybe thought there might be, 5 people joining, 6 people joining.
But no.
But we have 54 people joining. So
from all over the world.
So yeah, so basically I put out a post, somebody, one of Hudson's sponsors, which is the So Playing Card Company, they said that they would provide like a £20 gift voucher for a website. I forgot what the website is now, but yeah, it's a card playing website. And they kindly donated that. RW Paintworks, which is a new one of Hudson's sponsors, they've thrown in some stuff. We don't know what we've got yet.
Yeah.
We don't even know if we're just going to do first, second, or third place. What I didn't expect is how many people have joined. So 54 people have joined, and it's not just people that we know; it's people from around the world. So somebody's going to have to pay some postage costs. So we're 2 rounds in. You can still join if you want to join. It's free to join. It's just for fun. You might win something. So we're going to read out the top 10.
Yeah, top 10. Yeah.
Top 10 riders. So in first place from Portugal is F Nuno 34 with 181 points. Actually, quite far in lead there. In second place is Kids Are Mean. Kids Are Mean, yeah. From America, from the US of A, 167.5 points. In third place is Ear Team,
yeah. Ear
from
Team.
Portugal, 167 points. In fourth place, unbelievably, is S20 Racing, which is Hudson's uncle Dan Grice, who also is a sponsor as well.
Yeah.
From S20 Doors and Floors. So, well, he's embarrassing me, put it that way. So he's in fourth place with 162 points, and in fifth place, unbelievably again, is this guy. So I've not helped him, clearly not, because look at where my team is.
He's in 37th.
We don't talk about where I am. So Hudson's picks 159.5 points, and then again, just by coincidence, from Rambo Racing, who is a guy who sponsors, who's a So Playing Card Company guy. He's Rambo Racing. He's in sixth place with 158 points. In seventh place is
Team DJ.
JD. From England, 157.5 points. I'll put this graphic up, obviously, by the way. In eighth place is Gas Abyss from India or Indonesia.
I think it's Indonesia.
Indonesia, that I think.
Yeah.
155 points. And Grozu from Poland, 153 points. And then Promizia Racing from Italy on 147 points, which is, well, that's just amazing in itself. That just to reel off some of the countries where some of these places are from. This is just blown my mind.
Let's have a look where some other people are.
So just to tell you where some of these people, obviously we've done the top 10 there. So SH team from Spain. There's a Senkel team from Turkey. There's Bran Isks from ZAF. Where's that? Is that Zimbabwe?
Yeah,
ZAF.
What's the F for?
No idea. ZAF. Put a comment if you know where that's from, because I don't know where it's from. Portugal, Austria, Australia, Estonia. KRBN from Estonia. Another guy from the USA, Austria, Italy, Spain, India, Hong Kong, Portugal, France, Thailand, Bardik from Canada, another one two more from Indonesia, one from Spain, and in fourth and the last place is from England. Now where am I? Let's have a little look.
You're 30 something. Look, no, I've just seen you.
34th. What an embarrassment. 54 points from 2 rounds. Oh my
54.
God.
I'm on 100 and...
Is that right? 54. Oh, it's not 54. No, sorry.
What is it?
I'm on El Loco Racing. That's Luca. He's on 125. I don't know if Steve's on there as well.
He might be. I don't know.
Where's Steve's? I don't know if Steve's on there. RW Paint Works. Oh, they've done one as well. 118 points. Yeah, 136. Anyway, I'm doing terrible. 119.5 points I'm on. So yeah, links there to join. It's totally free to join. You can join after as well. Doesn't really matter.
Don't really matter.
It's just for fun.
Just for fun.
And
it's fun just choosing
and scripting and changing.
It's like being a team manager.
So yeah, so that concludes that. That's the MotoGP Fantasy League.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much going to wrap up this episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't forget you can listen to this podcast on Spotify, iTunes, and all podcast services. If you listen to this podcast, we also do a YouTube edition, which is what we're doing now as well. Where we're showing video of what we're talking about. So that's if you're a podcast listener. And if you're watching this on YouTube, we also do an audio edition, which is on all podcast services. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to share if you can.
Yeah.
Wherever you can.
Wherever you can.
Leave a review. Really appreciate it. Had a massive uptake on Hudson's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube over the last 30-40 days. Big numbers on YouTube especially.
Yeah.
Being amazed by the response. Some of these videos have gone, not these videos, but some of the Acosta videos have got a lot of views. And it's starting to build up his channel. So please like and subscribe to the channel if you're watching on YouTube as well. It really helps. Also, all us in socials, if you just search for
HKC217.
Pretty much anywhere, it should pop up. But the actual username is @HudsonKaiCooper. And you'll see the link or the name below. So yeah. Thanks for watching.
And yeah, we'll see you in the next episode.
See you in the next episode. Thanks again.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.